Alright, YouTube! Welcome on back to another video. My name's Gordon Ramsay, and today on Hell's Kitchen, we're discussing Overwatch versus TF2, but explained with food. You donkey! What are you? What are you? You an idiot sandwich! You're an idiot sandwich! I don't know. I don't know. I can't do the Gordon Ramsay. Oh, what are you? My God, putrid, awful, disgusting. Moving on. Anyways. Hi, I'm Jackal. That intro, the intros will never get better. I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I think that the intros have peaked, and I think that is all downhill from here. But no, as you can see by the title, I found a very cool video that was recommended to me in one of the comment sections that I have, and it is Overwatch versus TF2, but explained with food. I'm thinking I've been reacting to TF2 long enough at this point that I should be able to figure this out on my own a little bit more. But a little piece de resistance, the cherry on top of it all. I want to have a nice, solid video, wrap things up with a bow, and move on and move forward. Let's get it going, baby.
I think Overwatch versus TF2 is like making dessert. Playing Overwatch is like you're baking a gourmet cake. There's 6 of you, you're in a kitchen together, and every chef has one specific cake ingredient.
I mean, this was uploaded 10 years ago, so I guess when Overwatch first came out, I could give you that one. Not anymore. Not anymore. Not that the current state that Overwatch is in. It's like, all right, we're going to sit down and bake a cake. And it's like, all right, step one. As soon as you say step one, the whole kitchen explodes. And everybody starts calling each other like racial slurs or something. It's not good.
That they're adding. The tank puts in the flour, then the DPSs add the sugar and the eggs and the oil, then the supports add the baking soda and the chocolate that brings it all together. All 6 chefs here must work in combination.
Also running 3 DPS, 2 supports, 1 tank. Awful. Awful. What are we doing? What are we doing? Get junk out of there. Get a Zarya, for the love of God.
To nail this recipe, and if they do, this cake will be one of the best you've ever eaten. That's Overwatch. Team Fortress 2 is like eating a candy bar. Candy bars just taste great on their own. Like, you don't need any other foods to make a Snickers taste good. But okay, let's say you're eating a Snickers and then you see 2 other guys eating TF2 candy bars, and so you say to them, hey, let's team up. Let's merge our candy.
Hey, real quick, shout out to the M&M's chocolate bar. Shout out, dude. I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember that one. Oh my God. Oh my God. That would be the only thing that I would ever want from a store if like me and my family would ever go out shopping. It's like that right there. It's like I don't know if I turned into a banana wearing a bunch of hats, but you know, it's neither here nor there.
Candy bars into one super dish, and they're like, yeah. So you throw in your Snickers, and that guy throws in Dem M&Ms, and he throws in a Meta Cookie, and that guy adds Hershey's Weapons Guy, and then, well, then it just tastes like a big chocolatey mess. Here's the thing, a Snickers by itself tastes like a big chocolatey mess. So does Hershey's syrup. Combining candy bars together doesn't make them taste any better. It's still just a pile of delicious chocolate either way. That's TF2. So why are these games so different? Well, Overwatch characters are fundamentally designed to stay next to each other.
Okay. So I kind of see where this is going. I think this was around the time when Overwatch first came out, and it's sort of explaining the fact that Overwatch is so much more team oriented than the actual game with team in the title. Like, I could load up into a game of TF2 right now. I can do my own thing and still contribute to the success of my team against the other. If I load into an Overwatch match right now and I try to do my own thing without like coordinating or communicating with any of my other team members in Overwatch, it'll be much significantly harder to try to win that matchup compared to if I was communicating, trying to get the best team composition, actually cooperating with the team a bit more. I do think it's because of the limited space probably makes it a bit more difficult, if I'm being honest with you. Like the 6v6 versus sorry, goodness. Like the 6v6 versus a 12v12 definitely lends itself to more team-oriented combat, but it's neither here nor there. Let's keep it rolling.
other. If you want the protection from a tank's shield or to be healed by a support, you have to stand next to the tank or the support.
Yes!
It's just like the ingredients of a cake. They are designed to taste better when you mix them together. So if you're Junkrat, you're going to be more powerful by sticking with your team and utilizing their buffs. This is true of ultimates too. They are designed to be far more powerful when you coordinate them with your teammates. So ults primarily serve to reward teamwork. This is what makes Overwatch so satisfying, because if your team works well together, you're
makes it so satisfying back then. It makes it so satisfying back then, because now there's these sweaty, bitchless, jobless, unemployed virgins staying on the game 24/7. That's the thing that they're employed in, that you have to absolutely, at every single moment, be competing like you're trying to get into the Overwatch League at a moment's notice every single time you load up into a quick play game. It's not that satisfying anymore.
Rewarded by becoming substantially more powerful, and it's a rush. So teamwork is what makes Overwatch fun, but these super powerful team synergies also mean you have very limited freedom to play this game your own way. You really can't be effective with a solo playstyle in Overwatch because by design, you are far less powerful without your teammates' buffs. This gets worse when the metagame has a clearly defined optimal composition like dive. In this case, the synergies between specific characters are so strong that you are at a substantial disadvantage if you play anything else. Hey,
I mean, even if like you could still have the perfect dive comp, the perfect team composition when you're trying to go into dive. And if you don't know what dive is, it is characters with high movement abilities to be able to get into the enemy's backline as quick as humanly possible, to jump on their squishy supports and just try to wipe them out as fast as you can, and then work your way back up to the front to take out the rest of the team. And now that there's no supports in the backline, it's easier to wipe out the DPS and the tanks when they don't have anyone to support them. Even if you still have the perfect team comp, you still need to have people who know how to play dive. You still need to know people who know how to communicate dive. You still need to have people that have the limited, like, baseline understanding knowledge of how a dive comp actually works. Because if I'm paired up with another person that plays tank, I stick them on Winston and they still don't know how to dive, a dive will not succeed. I feel like in Team Fortress 2, if you're able to get on a certain hero that works well with another one, and you just are having a pulse, I think that even lends itself more to your team having more success. I don't know if that's the point that he was trying to make with that, but that's the point that I needed to get off my fat chest real quick.
You guys want to make a red velvet cake today?
Ooh.
I love making red velvet. What the fuck? No! Chocolate cake is the only dessert in the meta. I'm reporting you. The second big problem is that because teamwork is so crucial to winning, if you have just one or two bad teammates, that can ruin the entire game. Like if you were making a cake and your tank carefully adds the flour, and then you perfectly add in sugar, and then this dude's just eating Hans Oreos. Now the entire cake you were making is gonna taste awful because that guy is refusing to actually do his part of the recipe. And since you get random teammates game to game, it's totally hit or miss of actually having a team that coordinates well and has fun. It's like you're at a restaurant where half the meals cause horrible vomiting, but the other half it's like the best steak you've ever had. But people keep eating Overwatch because goddamn dude, the rush when your team pulls it all off is just incomparable. Like every chef on the team just nailed their job, and we made a cake so good it made Jeff Kaplan cry. In TF2, most characters aren't designed.
Dude, Jesus Christ. Shout out Papa Jeff. Oh my God. Shout out Papa Jeff. That's a name I haven't heard in years. Good Lord, dog.
To benefit their teammates in any way. Soldier and Demo and Scout, etc. don't have any core moves that benefit their teammates. And so you can run off on your own without being any fundamentally weaker. And this means your effectiveness as a player is only dictated by you, not by your teammates' behaviors. TF2 characters are candy bars. They taste great on their own. They don't need anyone else's flavors. Engineer and Medic are the two obvious exceptions here. They are very much designed to benefit teammates and help you win, but winning the game just isn't really a priority in TF2. People don't really care about the objective itself, it just serves as the dedicated spot where everybody's gonna blow each other up. The game almost discourages you from trying too hard to win by frequently scrambling the teams. Or even if you and two other guys are like, hey, you wanna team up and defend the objective? Yeah, that sounds fun. Hey, cut that out! Auto balance! So inevitably.
Oh no. Is auto balancing that bad? Is auto balancing that bad? What? You guys are actually winning and putting together a good winning team composition? Perfect. You shall no longer play with one another. Have fun. Enjoy your Reese's Pieces, asshole. Damn. Okay, game.
Inevitably, the map is full of spies and pyros and snipers roaming around having whatever little adventures pop up, and 90% of the time you'll never properly coordinate with anyone. Don't get me wrong, teamwork is still really fun in TF2, but unlike Overwatch, it's not the entirety of the game, and instead you have this incredible freedom to play in whatever style you want. Plus, TF2 maps are usually 12v12 or more, whereas Overwatch is only 6v6. This means that every individual Overwatch player has a larger impact on their team's product, so there's more pressure for you to follow the recipe and not be a dick. There are, of course, exceptions to all of this. Teamwork in TF2 is definitely effective when it's done well, and the competitive modes like Sixes or Highlander are a great example of this, and there's definitely some Overwatch players who do find success by playing separately from their teams. But the underlying design of these games,
I mean, maybe back then, yeah, you could get like a Brig deadlift or a Genji deadlift or a Sombra deadlift, but yeah, I don't feel like, especially now with Overwatch 2 being out, I feel like solo carries are a thing of the past. Especially when it comes to Overwatch. I think with how many characters there are now, it's just so hard to try to get that sort of skill or whatever you feel like calling it to eventually carry your team across the finish line. But I mean, in TF2, from what I've seen so far, if you're good on one of those characters. So I guess we'll see.
Funnels players into a teamwork mentality or a solo mentality, so that 90% of the time in Overwatch you need to stick to the recipe, and 90% of the time in TF2 you're in a Snickers dance party.
Hey!
Outside of teamwork, I think the games mostly differ in how you can customize your experience. For example, customizing each character. In TF2, they treat each character like a fruit. And let's say you taste each one, and then you go, man, I love apples. That's my favorite. I want to eat apples all day long. And TF2 goes, all right, well, I'm about to blow your fucking mind, because we have different ways to eat apples. We got apple pie and apple sauce and baked apples and apple fritters and tons more. This is how TF2 classes work. There's only 9 classes, but each one has 3 changeable weapon slots with hundreds of possible combinations. So if I love the taste of Demo Banana, I can mix it up and swap in Scottish Resistance and now cover choke points. It's similar, but it's customized. Or now I swap in Sword and Boots and I'm playing Demo Banana Night. And you're like, this is awesome. They took a food I loved, Demo Banana, and they're giving me different ways to cook that core flavor. Whereas Overwatch is like, you guys, we have 29 different fruits and veggies to choose from. And I'm like, oh my god, there are some really genuinely unique options here. Like a McCree Cumber, or a Reaper Simmon, or a Wrecking Bell Pepper. Hey, get out of here. But
I hate that hamster. I hate that hamster more than anything than I've ever hated before in my entire life. I want to put that hamster into a tube sock and like nunchuck whip it around the room. I hate that. Oh, I hate that hamster. God, I hate that hamster so much. But that's it, though. Like, you just get the wide array of fruits and veggies, and you don't get anything else after that, though. That's the unfortunate downside of it all. Like, you don't get to eat your strawberries in a strawberry smoothie or chocolate covered strawberries. You just get to change the color of the strawberries. So I definitely see the point that he's trying to make. I believe this is Doug.
Overwatch doesn't give you multiple ways to cook each fruit. You're only allowed to eat them raw. So let's say you try them all out and you go, Widow Mango is my favorite fruit. I love this flavor. And you're having a great time eating Widow Mango, but you might say to Overwatch, hey, I love the flavor of Widow Mango. Could you give me some ways to customize my favorite fruit? And Overwatch says, here's a baguette. And you're like, that's cool, man, but I really like Widow Mango. Like, I would love to eat that same flavor, but in different styles. Like a new way to enjoy the food that I already like. And they're like,
here's a baguette.
Here's a durian.
Here's a durian.
Overwatch doesn't let you customize your favorite characters. Instead, they just introduce new characters altogether. This is actually a really great thing if you're a player who wants a large variety in fundamental playstyles. But it also means you might get tired of that hero that you really, really love a lot faster than you might otherwise. Even more broadly, TF2 lets the community customize the maps that you can play. When Valve released TF2, it's like they opened a restaurant and they said, hey, we made a bunch of food and here's our menu of dishes to choose from, but the kitchen's unlocked. Feel free to make whatever else you want. So everybody everybody ran into the kitchen and went nuts. And over time, the community has cooked all sorts of insane new dishes for the TF2 menu. Like one dude went, "You guys, I packed 10 scoops of ice cream into one bowl. I call it a 10x crit server." And another guy's like, "I took soldier flour and pieces of toast and created jump maps." And you're like, "What the fuck? That's actually delicious." And another dude's like, "You guys, I took that sandwich and I made it really, really tall." And that's like a real thing that people play.
Oh my god.
It's called Higher Tower. It's just High Tower, but the tower is really tall now. So over the years, people took TF2's map editor and custom servers and created crazy new genres like jump maps, Saxton Hail mod, randomizer, tons more. The community expanded TF2's restaurant menu to have almost infinite dishes to choose from, and this has drastically increased the game's longevity and enjoyment. But when Overwatch opened their restaurant, they said, "Here's our menu of food, you can eat these specific things." And over time, they've added new items to the menu like 3v3 or brawls. And these dishes all taste great, but the point is that Overwatch, and only Overwatch, controls the entire menu. And as a result, it's a pretty limited menu. Like if you go in there and you try to order a 12v12 match, they will say, "Sorry, but..."
This was uploaded 10 years ago. Still true to this day.
12v12 isn't on our menu. Why don't you try our 6v6? And I'm like, "I have, man, and it's great, but I thought it'd be fun to make my own type of meal." And they're like, "Here's a durian." This isn't so much a flaw of Overwatch, it's just a big missed opportunity. They don't give the community tools to make unique maps and modes, and this unnecessarily limits the game's menu of options. And it's especially frustrating because Blizzard's older games did do this. Warcraft 3 is legendary because of custom maps. Blizzard made these incredible RTS ingredients and then said, "Hey, the kitchen door's unlocked, go make whatever you want." And so some frog started a 5v5 eating contest and literally invented Dota. And another dude invented tower defense and hero arenas and a million other iconic games. Warcraft 3 made the ingredients and the community made the menu. And it sucks when you see Overwatch's ingredients, which are so creative and cool, and you just like wonder what kind of amazing meals we might be eating if Overwatch just let us play with our food. At this point, I play more TF2, but it just depends on how I'm feeling, right? Like if it's the end of a long day and I want to dick around, play my favorite character, and not worry about teammates, then TF2 is the perfect experience for me. But Overwatch can be fucking awesome. The characters and ultimates are super creative, and if you have a great team, the feeling of working together and accomplishing a plan is one of the best feelings in gaming. Eating a gourmet cake is always going to taste better than eating a Snickers. It just really sucks if your cake has Hanzo in it. Hey, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, subscribe.
Okay, all right, hold up. When was this? Oh no, not sorry. I lied the whole video. This was 2019. This was 2019. I turns out I am dyslexic, and it was actually a 6 instead of a 9. So I was saying 10 years ago the whole video. I'm sorry, I'm a dirty liar. Please don't hold that against me. Yeah, but Overwatch 2 came out and then immediately flipped the entirety of this on its head. And I would say that, yeah, it was a cake at one point, and now it's just a pile of mush. It's just mush. It's just gray matter when it comes to Overwatch now. But that is another conversation for another time, because this video has come to a close. And if you enjoyed today's upload, make sure you hit that like button. Comment down below any more reactions you want to see from me in the future. Please subscribe to the channel, my friend, as we are on the road to 5,000 subscribers. Once we do, Emesis Blue coming to the channel, my friends. And while you're at it, take a look at those memberships too. There's some fun stuff in there for you. But until that point, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I'll see you in the next one. Love you, bye.